Back to the channel, man. I want to tell y'all this is another story time. I don't really know how to explain this, but it's not a story time, but it's one of my biggest lessons that I learned. And it to tell y'all one of my biggest lessons that I learned in life, I have to tell y'all a story. Growing up, my pops, he had me in all types of sports. Man, I was in T-ball, I was in soccer, I was in karate, I was in basketball, I was in football, I was in, did I say karate? That any sport that you could think of, my dad had me in. I played basketball for like 5 years, and I wasn't good. I played football for maybe 4 years or so. All right, I was on this team that I hated. It was so bad, and I was known as one that they really bullied me on that team. I was around probably like 10 years old. About between 8 and 10 is how long I was on that team. And they really bullied me. They used to tell me, man, I'm going against the worst player on the team. It's like it was a really good team. I never got playing time. I didn't really get no respect. All they did was I just was on the sideline. All they did was work me, make me run, and I was this big kid. I just wasn't good. I just didn't feel good being there. And every day I dreaded going to practice every day because I was like, I don't want to run. I don't want to get tired. I don't want to go through this hard work. That's all I thought about. My dad had me on that team though. And it was to the point where like this team, one day we lost a scrimmage game. And this is literally, I was probably like 8 or 9, between 8 and 10 years old. But I don't know how old I was at the scrimmage game, but they lost. And they lost by 1 point on the scrimmage game. And we went to practice the next day. They made us run. They made us roll on the football field until we got sick, throwing up. I'm a kid like that. It gave me nightmares. I just hated it so bad. I remember practicing, just being so. I just didn't like it. And one reason why I didn't like it is because it was hard. Looking back, it was hard, so that's why I didn't like it. Anyways, fast forward, my dad finally decided to take me out of that football program, and he put me in another football program, and that was in Memphis. This one, I was there for about 2, 3 years, and we went to South Haven. But this program, it was a whole nother environment, man. For the first time, the coach talked to me. He was like, "Man, I'm gonna start you at center. You know what? I'm gonna teach you how to be a leader." So it's like I started to ball out. I was practicing for a whole month straight. During practice, I was getting in shape. I loved practice. I remember going there. My dad's coming. My dad's watching me. He's like, "Man, how's it going?" Like while I'm practicing, my dad's watching me. I'm running. I'm doing my sprints and stuff, and I'm just loving it. For the first time, I feel like for the first time, I was one of the best players on the football team. I was the center. I was the leader of the. I'm a quiet guy too, so I'm quiet. I'm shy, but I was the center. And the coach was like, "You're the leader of the line." I remember it's a wonderful man, a wonderful coach, and but he like believed in me. He's always telling me, "You're the leader of the line. I need you to speak up. I need you to tell them to huddle up." And I'm like, man, that's me as a kid. I'm like, yeah, huddle up. Like, I built so much confidence. So I loved it, man. I was on offense as a center. I was on defense. I was on receiving. I was on kicking. I played every little, role. So it was going good, man. And I loved it. But all right, so our first game came. All right, now our first game came. Uh, and during the game, I was killing it. I'm the center, pretty much playing the entire game. I played the entire game, and it got to the third quarter, and I remember all I remember was I got hit, and I remember waking up, and I looked over to the right. I'm laying on my back. This is third quarter on our first game of the season of this team that I love. The first time ever I loved this sport. I got hit. I'm laying on my back. I think I passed out for a minute. I was out because all I remember is waking up and I looked to the right. My dad hopped the fence He jumped over a fence. I always remember that image because my dad's like actually I looked left because he was on the left side. And he jumped the fence and he ran over to me. He picked me up himself off the field and he set me down on the bench. And as he set me down, my foot was already it was hurting. And the coach or the standby medical people or something, they came by. And when they came by, they twisted my ankle. My ankle wasn't as bad, but they twisted it. And when they twist it, you hear a couple of pops. So, you know, it starts to swell even more at that point. So we end up having to go to the hospital. And when we got to the hospital, we went to a smaller hospital. When we got there, they told my dad, your son just broke his ankle in two places. He broke my growth plate. So there's a chance that my leg wasn't going to grow. And I broke another bone and I had to have surgery. I had to immediately have surgery. Not really immediately, but they sent me to Labana, which is a children's hospital in Memphis. So they sent us there. And I was there for like 3.5 days, 4 days or whatever. Yeah, around three. It happened on a Saturday and I didn't get back home until I was there for about 3 days, 3 or 4 days. Yeah, 'cause I had a screw put in my foot. So anyways, I was on crutches for eight weeks. I was on in a boot for 6 weeks. And then I was able to, you know, that first day I got off my boot. No, the first day I got off my crutches. I remember this so vividly. My dad walked us around my block, my neighborhood. It's like a circle around my neighborhood. Not really my neighborhood, but it's like, I guess you could say my neighborhood. But he walked me around a circle, and I remember how hard it was to walk around that circle. And that was one of the hardest moments. It was tough, but I appreciate my dad because that gave me he did it for a reason. You know, that's the first time I walked with my boot. I was walking and we walked around the entire block. It took us over an hour and it wasn't even that long, but it took us a while. And my dad was patient and we walked around that block. All right, man. So now we're at the point now I'm starting to, this is 8 months of crutches, 6 weeks of on in a boot. And then now, my dad's helping me out to get back to it. All right, fast forward. Now it's December. Incident happened in September. Now it's December, all the way January, all the way to next year. The coach calls me that next July. And I look back at this now and it's one of my biggest regrets, but it's also one of my biggest lessons. He asked me, he's like, man, I heard that you're doing good now and you're healthy. We want you to come back to the football team. I'm 12 years old now. I'm 12. We want you to come back to the football team. And I told coach for the first time in my life, my dad said, you have a choice. You don't got to play. For the first time, he said, you do not have to play if you don't want to. That's the first time my dad ever gave me that choice. So because he gave me the choice, I said I didn't want to play because of all that history of all the hard work. Before I started to love it, I hated it. And because I knew how hard it was, I was afraid for hard work. I was afraid of hard work. It's something about it's hard. I'm not going to do that. I got a choice. I'm not going to do that. It's too hard. Why do it? I never play football again. Never. I'm now in the 7th grade. I could play in school. I didn't play. God was like, you know what? You don't want to play? You can play in high school. I didn't play. In college at Mississippi Valley State, even if I wasn't going to get playing time, I could have still played at Valley if I wanted to. All because I was afraid of hard work. Now, all because I was afraid of something happening to my ankle or just afraid of running, afraid of being tired, afraid of throwing up or whatever, just afraid of hard work, man. So, man, if you're watching this video, don't be afraid of hard work because it's just part of it. And I wish today that I kept going. I wish that I got back on my feet and I stayed in football because deep down, I actually loved it. I was young, but man, for the first time, all that hard work I was doing for the first time in my life, I loved football, you know. So yeah, that was a little story time or a lesson or whatever. I don't know. But I really want to tell that story because you know, it was really one of the breaking points in my life, and I really didn't learn that lesson until like a few years ago. And a few years ago, I was just talking to myself in my head, and I was like, why did you never play any football again?" And that's because I was afraid of hard work. Those moments where the coach was working us as a kid, working us, and the people are, making fun of me because I wasn't that good. And, you know, even when things got good, even when my life got great, things got great. I was good at football and I was knocked down. I broke my ankle and I was scared at that point, had surgery and all that stuff. You know, that was the time for me to really get better. Like after that ankle injury, I should have got back in the lab, told my dad, you know what, Dad, I want to go back, but I didn't. I never played any sports after that. You know, I started to concentrate. I mean, I'm blessed to. I started to concentrate on other stuff like artwork, but still, like having that being, you know, just wish I really kept going with it, man. I promise I do. It's, but anyways, y'all, I hope y'all like, comment, subscribe to this channel. Let me know what y'all think of this video. And comment, please. Just let me know what was some of your biggest lessons that you learned in life. Maybe you made a mistake in the past, or maybe you wish you did something different in the past that really taught you, like, dang, that's why I did that, or me doing that. Dang, if I, whatever it is, and just comment what's something that you learned, your biggest lesson. What was your biggest lesson growing up? But not from a teacher, not from anybody else, but the biggest lesson that you taught yourself. What was that? Comment down below. Like this video, subscribe. I'm on the road to 1K. Y'all, please just help me get to 100. Let's start off small, but help me get to 1,000 subscribers, man. We on the road to 1,000 subscribers, man. I promise I'm going to keep making videos and keep being consistent because I love to talk to y'all, man. Hopefully, when I get bigger as a channel, I can start having some of my supporters on this channel. You never know, man.
Call on your phone, sound like you are moved on. Gotta get out of my zone, got me confused. Don't wanna mess up your home, baby. Just me and you.